Welcome to another PowerMaths lesson. We're working through our problem solving and efficient methods unit at the moment, and today we're going to be looking at how the 100 square and number line can help you to calculate efficiently. Let's get started.
Let's start off with today's flashback 4 then. Have a go at these questions, click pause and then click play when you're ready to check your answers. Ready to check? Let's have a look. Question 1. What turn has the spider made? And the answer is a quarter of a turn in the clockwise direction. Question 2. Complete the sentence. The something has moved 1 square left. And of course the answer here is the hen or the chicken has moved 1 square left. Question 3. Complete the sequence. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 1, and then of course we've got next 1 and 1 quarter and 1 and 2 quarters. This sequence is going up by 1 quarter each time. And then 5 times 7, this might be one that you know straight away, or you might have had to use a written method to work it down. Your answer is 35. Let's move on and have a look at today's PowerMaths. Today, we are carrying on thinking about problem solving and efficient methods. And today we're looking at using 100 square as an efficient method to work out a calculation. Remember that by efficient we mean quick and easy compared to other methods. So, your discover today. You've got 100 square that's being shown at the front of this classroom, and the teacher is asking what is 32 more than 45. Question 1 starts with a slightly easier calculation. Part A says, what is 8 more than 45? How can you use the 100 square for support? And then part B is answering the question that teacher is asking. What is 32 more than 45? How can you use the 100 square for support? Things to consider as you have a go at this discover. How are numbers laid out on 100 square? Think to yourself, do I always need to move in ones? And think to yourself, what does a jump of 10 look like? Click pause now, have a go at the discover, and then join us afterwards while we'll share some ideas together. Let's talk about this discover then. First up are Walt and Wilf today. As I said before, we're thinking about 100 squares and using them to support calculations. What I'm looking for today is for you to use jumps of 10 to make your working out more efficient, then to use jumps of 1 to complete your calculation, and to be able to show the working out that you've done on a number line as well. Let's think about those questions in the discover. The first one asked you, what is 8 more than 45? And it asked you to use the 100 square for support. Let's have a read first what Dexter and Sparks are saying. Dexter says, I'm going to count on using the 100 square. And Sparks says, remember, there are 10 squares in every row. So let's have a look what you could have done. Count on 8 from 45. Remember, the question asked us for 8 more than 45, so that's all we need to do. Count along the 100 square 8 steps. 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Remember that when you get to the end of a line, the next number starts on the next line. So 8 jumps gets us to 53, and that's the answer to our calculation. However, there's another way that we could have done this. We know that 8 is 2 less than 10. So what you could have done is jumped 10 and then hopped backwards by 2. If we'd done this, our jumps would have looked like this. 45 add 10 gets us to 55, and then 2 steps back, 54, 53. Can you see that both ways of working out, we've added 8 more and we've ended up at the same place, 53. So the answer, 45 add 8 equals 53. Let's have a look at part B then. In part B, you are asked what is 32 more than 45. Now, of course, you could count on in ones, 45, 46, 47, but it would take a long time. It's not an efficient method. A better method is to think about what you're adding. You're adding 32, which is made up of 3 tens and 2 ones. So you could do your jumps of 10 first and then count on 2 ones. Let's have a look at what that looks like. Adding 3 tens, 55, 65, 75, and then adding those 2 ones, 76, 77. We get to 77. So 45 at 32 equals 77. Much quicker than if we'd done it by jumps of 1. Let's think about some more questions together. Our first think together question is this: what is 36 more than 52? And the things to consider today when you are practicing this by yourself. Firstly, you need to work out what operation is being used in the calculation. Are you adding or are you subtracting? And think to yourself as well, is my answer then going to be bigger or smaller than the number I start on? By thinking about these things first, it will avoid you jumping in the wrong direction by accident. So, what is 36 more than 52? Let's think about how we can do this. We need to break 32 up into its parts. 30 made of 3 tens and 6 made of 6 ones. Let's do the jumps of 10 first. We need to do 3 of them. So we're starting on 52 and we'll do 3 hops of 10. 62, 72, 82. Now we need to add 6 more ones. So let's hop up 6 ones. 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. That was 6 hops of 1 and we've ended up on 88. So our answer to 36 more than 52 is 88. Time for you to have a go. What is 45 less than 76? Think about those things I suggested. What operation are we doing here? And is your answer going to be bigger or smaller than the number you start on? Over here we've got a number line as well. That might help you to think about your answer. Have a go at answering 45 less than 76. Click pause and then click play when you're ready to talk about it together. Let's have a think about this question then. We're doing 45 less than 76, which means we're doing a subtraction. Our number is getting smaller. And we can do the same thing as we've done before. Firstly, making jumps of 10, and then making jumps of 1. Have a look on the number line to see what's happening. We're going to start at the number 76, and we need to do 4 hops of 10 to take away 40. The first hop would take us to 66, then 56, 46, and 36. We now need to take away 5, because overall we're taking away 45. We've taken away 40 and we've got 5 more to take away. So let's do those. We're on 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, and we're at our answer. 45 less than 76 is 31. And you can see overall we've jumped back 45 to get our answer. Now we did this on a number line, but you can do it on 100 square, and that's what you're going to be doing a lot of today. Starting on 76, we first hopped back 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. And then from 36, where we landed, we hopped back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to our answer, 31. So the number line and the 100 square are 2 tools that we can use to answer questions like this efficiently. Time for the challenge then. Have a go at this by yourself. Millie is working out 68 take away 26 on 100 square. And you can see she's done some hops, and these are shown by the arrows. She started on 68, and there are the arrows of her calculation. Show Millie's calculation on a number line. Think about what steps are being taken and where do the arrows need to go on the number line. Have a go at that now, and then click play when you're ready to check your answer. Hopefully you've drawn out that calculation on a number line then, showing what Millie did with her 100 square. Let's see what we need to do. We're starting on 68 and we need to take away 26. So first we're going to do 2 hops of 10. 68 take away 10 gets us to 58. Take away another 10 gets us to 48. And you can see That's why we've got the arrow from 68 to 48. Now we need to take away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what that looks like on a number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've taken away 6 and we would get to 42. You may have written your answer in at the end as well, and you might have written your hops as well. Time for you to practice by yourself. Remember, all we're thinking about today is how we can use the 100 square and a number line to work things out efficiently. Think especially about making jumps of 10. You may even want to make jumps bigger than 10. You might want to make a jump of 20 or 30 in one go. Don't worry if you need to take it slow today. This is all about practicing finding the best way to tackle a calculation. And some ways of thinking will come easier to some people and will be harder for others. Have a go at your practice book and then come back for some extension questions afterwards. So hopefully you've had lots of success practicing this skill of using 100 square and number line today. Let's have a look at our question. True or false? When you add two two-digit numbers, you have to add the ones before the tens. Pause the video, think about your answer, true or false. Well, the answer to this one is false. You can add the tens first or the ones first. And you can see that this is being shown by these number lines here. We're doing 25 add 34. And you can see that if we add the 4 first and then the 30, we get to 59. Or if we add the 30 first and then the 4, we also get to 59. Now, some of you might be surprised by that. You might be thinking, hang on, you've taught us that we need to add the ones first and then the tens, especially if we're doing a column addition. Let's think a bit more about that. Here I've got a different calculation, 45 add 27. And at the top you can see the same thing. It doesn't matter whether we add the 7 and then the 20 or the 20 and then the 7. We get to 72 each time. So it doesn't matter whether you add the ones first or the tens. But when you're doing a column addition, it's important to add the ones first so that you don't accidentally make a mistake in your calculations. Let me show you what I mean. Let's add the ones first in this column addition, 45 add 27. We add 5 and 7 to get 12. We put our 2 in the ones column and the new 10 that we've made in the tens column. Then we do 4 tens, add 2 tens, add the new 10 that we've made, make 7 tens. 72. Brilliant. Let's see what would happen if we added the tens first. 4 tens add 2 tens gives us 6 tens. 5 add 7 gives us 12. So we put the 2 in the ones and the new 10 down here in the tens. But hang on, we've already written our answer in the tens. We've already added them up. So what are we going to do now? We're in a bit of a muddle because there's not actually 6 tens. There should be 7, which means we're going to have to cross that out and write 7. So we're much more likely to make a mistake and to miss out adding on that new 10 if we start adding the tens with the column method. Hopefully you can see that when we're adding things together, thinking about adding the tens and the ones separately is a really good way of making an addition or a subtraction really speedy. And it's really easy to think about that with 100 square or with a number line. However, when you're doing a column addition, it is still important to add the ones first and then to add the tens so that you don't leave out parts of the calculation. Well done on all your hard work today. This problem solving and efficient methods can sometimes be a bit tricky. It's one of the harder topics in year 2, but you're doing a fantastic job. Let's finish there.
Well done on completing another lesson. See you again soon.